We are approaching the end of Rebuilding Refuge 2022, a 2-week campaign to raise $50,000 to support Severe Weather Shelter Network in reimagining church shelter and reconnecting with church partners and volunteers. Just continuing to sit with that idea of refuge as a safe place, a warm haven, relational connection. That is who Severe Weather Shelter Network desires to be. So what is this idea of grace? Grace is one of those things that we hear in church and sometimes in the broader community, that we're just extending grace to someone who's maybe having a hard day, that we're giving them space to find themselves and right their way. In shelter, we experience grace from our guests, and we extend grace to our guests. It's one of the most beautiful things on a shelter night is to watch people care for one another and give people space to be who they are. In the motels versus the churches, that's a little bit more tricky. The motels, by their very nature, are a business. Their entire purpose is to provide a safe place for people to spend the night before they continue their journey. But there's not a lot of room for grace. If you don't fit within their rules and abide by their guidelines, there's not a lot of grace there. And it was really difficult for us over these last 2 years to have to remove people from shelter because they just could not function in that setting. But in a church setting, we have all kinds of capacity for grace. We have first and second chances. We have the opportunity to have conversations and to have conversations given back to us. We have room for that relational development where grace is experienced. And so as we think about moving toward fall of 2022, I want to invite you to be part of extending grace. And that can be done in a couple of different ways. I want to encourage you to go ahead and go to our website if you haven't already done it. Go now, www.swshelternetwork.com, click donate and give your best gift there. Or drop a check in the mail, P.O. Box 620546, Littleton, Colorado 80162. But even better and more important maybe is giving of your time and other resources. So I would invite you to click on the volunteer tab, check out all the volunteer opportunities that are coming this fall, and consider becoming part of that grace-filled experience in a church setting for shelter. We'll look forward to welcoming you even as we have welcomed our guests. So thank you in advance for continuing this refuge journey with me. The next episode will be our last one. It'll conclude our campaign, and so I look forward to celebrating that opportunity with you in the next day or so.